Self-sacrifice is not love. Welcome back to the Secure Husband Podcast. Bruce Abbott, certified professional coach and founder of SecureHusband.com, where good men stop living like they're only as valuable as how well they're performing. I want to debunk something here. It's a lie that sounds noble, it feels right, it even looks like love. But actually, it's one of the most toxic dynamics in your marriage. It's this idea that if I just sacrifice myself enough, if I just stay quiet, if I just give her what she wants, happy wife, happy life, if I stop asking for what I need, eventually she'll appreciate me and we'll be okay. That's not love. That's not leadership. That's not strength. That's people-pleasing. That's giving to get. That's emotional manipulation, wearing a martyr's mask. It breeds resentment and disconnection and contempt on both sides because self-sacrifice is a trauma response. It's not a virtue, and it kills trust. It kills polarity. It kills intimacy, and it sounds like love, but it's rooted in fear, and it really is manipulation because you're not sacrificing to love her. You're sacrificing to be loved or even liked. You're trying to avoid conflict. You're trying to earn closeness, keeping the peace. How many times have you thought this to yourself? If I say what I really feel, that'll piss her off. It'll push her away. She'll withdraw. If I bring up my needs, she'll shut down. She'll reject me. Or how about this one? If I just keep doing what she wants, maybe she'll love me again. But here's what's really happening. You're abandoning yourself. And then you're calling it love. That's victim mentality. That's not noble. I would say it's even unsafe for you and for her. So you got to notice where you're giving to get. You have to notice these unspoken rules and expectations that you're operating from that are causing you to self-sacrifice. Ask yourself this: do I do things for her, hoping she'll show me affection? Do I avoid the hard conversations so that she won't be upset? Maybe I agree with things that I don't actually believe, just to keep the peace. It's this idea of being a good husband means suppressing what I want. If so, you're not loving her and you're not loving yourself. You're trying to earn her and you're abandoning yourself. That's not loving to either one of you. That's offering fake peace instead of real presence. And she can feel that. She can smell that from a mile away. And it doesn't make her feel loved. It makes her feel pressure. It makes her feel distrust. Because your quote-unquote sacrifices are often quiet demands dressed in politeness. And over time, those hidden expectations, they turn into resentment. And so you have a choice. At this point, you have to choose to stop abandoning yourself and draw the line with yourself. And tell yourself in a loving, self-compassionate, not blaming, not shaming way, but with love. You tell yourself, you know what? I'm no longer going to betray myself in this relationship. For the name of peace, I'm not going to suppress my voice to avoid discomfort. I'm not going to give up my needs anymore, hoping she'll eventually see me and want me. Because that's not love, that's fear. Real love doesn't ask you to disappear. It asks you to show up grounded and honest. And this allows you to start treating your marriage like a place to be fully you, with authenticity and truth and love. And that's how trust starts to return, because a woman doesn't feel safe with a man who disappears into niceness. She feels safe with a man who stands tall in truth, the mighty oak tree, strength, masculine stability. And if you've listened to any of this podcast before, you know that this is all about that little boy inside of you who learned that love meant shrinking and being unseen, not being a burden, not being a trouble. Because this isn't about your wife. It's about your story long before you met your wife. I always say that. Somewhere along the line, when you were growing up, you had circumstances when you were little, maybe 2 years old, 4 years old, 7, 9, whatever the age, you learned don't upset anyone. You've got to keep the peace, got to be easy going, got to walk on eggshells, don't ruffle any feathers. Subconsciously, you start believing my needs don't matter as long as somebody's not upset with me. And you start to believe that love means giving everything even when you're empty. Those were big emotions and circumstances when you were little that you didn't know how to deal with. You're a child. It could have been a parent with a quick temper, a caregiver who only rewarded obedience maybe. It was someone you saw suffer for speaking up. And so you learned you just got to shut up and stay quiet. That little boy is still inside you, still trying to keep the peace. I'm still trying to be the good one so that love doesn't go away. But he needs you now, not your wife. He needs you to stand up for him for the first time and come to him with love and compassion. And you tell him, look, you don't have to earn love anymore by disappearing. I got you, little guy. Your voice matters. Your needs matter. I've got you. You are loved unconditionally. You let divine love, spiritual love, come and speak to him too. God, the universe, higher power, whatever that is for you, God comes in and you connect that little boy with God and let him tell you the truth. That no, you were never too much. You were never not enough. You were perfect just as you are. You are already loved unconditionally. You are worthy no matter what. And then this allows you to lead from truth and not survival and false core beliefs. And this allows you to understand why people-pleasing kills intimacy. Because you think you're being kind by never disagreeing. I mean, you think you're building trust by avoiding your own emotions. You really believe in your heart of hearts that you're earning love by always saying yes and never saying no. Because men think that's what they're supposed to do. And again, that's what you grew up believing. But the reality is, what she actually feels is inauthenticity. She feels confusion and she senses the emotional passivity and manipulation and she feels pressure and guilt. And then over time, she stops trusting you. She stops opening up. She stops feeling polarity, that masculine, feminine dance of attraction. Because now you've turned into a mirror instead of a strong, secure man. And you don't have to blame yourself. You don't have to be harsh on yourself. Treat yourself with self-compassion. You didn't know. You just were acting from what you knew as a child. And you used those coping mechanisms to drive your marriage today. But intimacy only lives where truth is allowed. And truth only comes from a man who knows how to stand without fear, even when it's uncomfortable. And that's how you lead from wholeness and not obligation. That's where you stop saying to yourself, what does she want from me? And you feel the victim mentality, or how do I keep her happy? What do I need to sacrifice to keep the peace? You stop asking those questions. And you start asking, what kind of man do I want to be, with or without her approval? How do I lead this moment with clarity and calm and courage and overcome fear? What does love look like when I'm not trying to get anything back and I am full and whole, not in a selfish, narcissistic kind of way, but a healthy self-love that allows you to show up fully present and emotionally honest and grounded in who you are. And you're willing to risk discomfort for the sake of connection. It's a test. It's a great big test. But now your yes will mean something because you know how to say no when you need to. And now your love is real. It's not hiding a hidden scorecard. This is how you lead. This is how you create real intimacy again. This is how you become the man who loves freely, not to get something, not to avoid something, but because you're full. And you choose to give from overflow. That's the secure husband. And he's confident and he can say to his wife, I love you. And I'm going to speak truth, even if it's uncomfortable. But I'm going to do it in a loving way. Loving to you, loving to me. And honey, I'll care for you, but I won't abandon myself to do it. And I will show up fully because that's who I am, not what I'm trying to earn. And that's not selfish. That's self-led. That's self-compassion, self-love, self-esteem, self-worth. And a self-led man is the most attractive, trustworthy, calming presence in any room, especially in his own house and his own marriage. Self-sacrifice is not love when it comes from fear. It's people-pleasing. It's manipulation. It's self-abandonment. And it is killing your connection because your marriage doesn't need a martyr. It needs a man rooted in truth. A man who can love without disappearing and hold space without collapsing, who leads with honesty, who is secure. You know, if you're always tired of giving and still feeling invisible, if you want to love her without betraying yourself and abandoning your inner boy, you don't have to give yourself away to be loved. You heal and you start showing up as you are. I hope this podcast has been helpful for you. Hey, if so, please give me a review. Hit that subscribe button for more Secure Husband episodes and share this episode with someone who you think may need to hear this. Visit securehusband.com for more resources and to book one-on-one coaching with me. I'll see you again on the next Secure Husband podcast. Thanks for listening.